Many people blur the true meaning of Memorial Day. Some celebrate it as a time for picnics and going to swimming pools. However, the true meaning is to honor those who have served and fallen for our country and for our freedoms. The U.S. has fought in many engagements over time to liberate oppressed peoples or to put an end to tyrannical governments. These servicemen and women have weathered heat, cold, and the fury of their opposition in an effort to preserve our freedoms. These men and women came from all walks of life to serve in our armed forces in times of need. For example, in the Revolutionary War, everyday carpenters, blacksmiths, store owners, farmers, and hunters came together to defeat Great Britain, the most powerful nation on earth at the time. In the Civil War, America was divided, but both sides fought for their homes, family, and freedom alike, whether north or south. In the First World War, our servicemen experienced the horrors of trench warfare for the first time, but kept pushing onward. In the Second World War, our servicemen fought and died to free the world from Nazis and imperialist Japan, and women became nurses and workers. In the Vietnam War, civilians signed up and became soldiers to fight against the spread of an evil country spreading evil ideals. And finally, in present day, we are fighting against terroristic threats that need to be stopped and will be by our service members. In all of these cases, they fight to preserve freedom and to guarantee the security of our nation and each other. They fight for their brothers and sisters in arms and die for all of us. There is a particular story about the 3rd Platoon, Bravo Company, 1st Battalion, 26th Marine Regiment during the Battle of Khe Sanh in the Vietnam War. The Marines had fought a series of sharp engagements against the NVA in the Khe Sanh area. However, just after midnight on January 21st, 1968, the Viet Cong and NVA launched an all-out attack in an attempt to overrun the Marines. Can you imagine what it would be like to be waiting in darkness, the battlefield silent, until suddenly men come screaming out of the jungle firing their weapons at you? You hear the cacophony of battle, deafening gun and artillery fire, and you see the muzzle flash of guns that are firing at you. That was the reality these men were living through. Though outnumbered 3-1, the men held their ground, each man repelling the enemy or courageously fighting to their death. During the battle, many men died, but they had come out victorious. And for the next 77 days, the men held firm under an onslaught of communist attackers. The bravery of the men who fought and died in this bloody battle is astonishing. They gave their all and their lives for their country, their families and friends, and most of all, their brothers in arms. I believe we need a revival of what the true meaning of Memorial Day is, and to always be vigilant and stalwart in the defense of freedom and liberty, for ultimately that is the highest form of honor and remembrance for the men and women who laid their life on the altar of freedom. So thank you all, and God bless.